Welcome back. Your host, Mitchell from Notorious Polls Radio. And I'm here. We have our very special guest, Fight Hop Podcast. And for this week's episode, we are going to be talking about the standing contender, Ilia Topuria, going against one of the top featherweights in the division, Josh Emmett. This match,
Special.
what?
Sorry.
So this match will be taking place in Jacksonville, Florida. It will be viewed on channel ABC7. So guys, you do not want to miss this. We have our special guests, George and Romeo. Guys, take the stage. Tell me your thoughts about this big matchup.
Well, I'll tell you my thoughts on special. As in, like, are we like special as in like special needs or special?
Special.
Okay, thank you.
Glad to be doing this collab again, Mitchell. This is our second time back, and every time we collaborate, it's always something big going down. And obviously, this weekend, it's the first main event for El Matador, as I like to call him, Ilia the Top Gun Topuria, because he's blasting his way through everyone. And to be honest, the level of opposition is definitely going up this weekend, but I'm still expecting the same results. I mean, the Matador is going to be going through all the way, and I'm thinking 2024, the title shot should be there for him. But, obviously every fight needs to be taken seriously, step by step, and this one is huge. Like I said, main event. I can't wait. It's gonna be a true banger.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the history tells us that when the UFC puts you on the main event against the number one, number two guy, usually if you have a dominant performance and if you have a devastating KO, or if you show something that will interest the promoter enough, most likely you're gonna get a title shot. So we'll see how it goes for our boy. Yeah, he's been blasting, ripping through the rankings, and this one could be the title eliminator for him. Hopefully that will be the case. Hopefully he'll get the job done quick. Hopefully he does it in an impressive fashion without controversy, no questions asked afterwards. We all believe he can do it. Obviously, the UFC believes he can do it. That's why they put him under the lights. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is definitely the biggest and the most dangerous fight that he has had so far in the UFC. This is Josh Emmett is not somebody you can take lightly, and I don't think he is. Yeah, he looks like he's in a great shape. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes.
One of my most interesting observations on this matchup is that Topuria has been tested mostly against almost every specialty. And a lot of the times, a lot of the promotion has trying to expose his ground game. So they've been putting him against some, top wrestlers. I considered, Bryce Mitchell a very well-rounded wrestler and, grappler. I believe other than that fight that showed kind of a little bit exposed Mitchell against a guy like Topuria, which showed that not only does he have elite level boxing and striking in his arsenal, but he is beyond comfortable when it comes to going to the ground game. Yeah. An opponent like Josh Emmett has a great ground game because he trains in Sacramento with Team Alpha Male, with Uriah Faber and all those great professionals in California. But he is one of the hardest hitting featherweights in the division. I mean, this guy can pop.
Yeah.
I cannot argue that he's definitely not as technical as Topuria. He's more of a kind of a brawler type of fighter, which throws lots of power behind his shots, and he's the type of guy you don't want to essentially trade with. You want to be able to avoid him in the pocket stay away from the fence, and stay away from that monster right hand. I do see
Now,
this fight really showing Topuria's craftiness, whether he finishes him on the ground, which would have been spectacular, but to knock a guy like Josh Emmett, who hasn't been finished in a few years since his last loss to Jeremy Stevens, would be a huge statement, not only for Topuria, but for the entire country of Georgia and what they're doing right now in MMA.
yeah, and I'll tell you, but Josh did look like he might have like a one leg out of the game in his last fight. In his last fight, he wasn't. I didn't see the same commitment from him in his last fight that I've seen the fights before that. So we'll see. This is definitely something that Ilia, if he wants to get a title shot next, he has to overcome this, flying colors. But go ahead, George.
So I guess the question is how we think the fight is gonna go. And Mitch, you just mentioned, his well-roundedness, and also the fact that he's original A game. When I say original, is because when it comes to boxing, he's been so sharp that it's very difficult to say that his A game is not boxing anymore, But then again, that's why he's so well rounded. But his original A game is grappling. Um,
Yes.
it's absolutely wrestling and grappling. We're talking about BJJ, and um, but he definitely has a passion for boxing. I mean, every time him and his brother are talking about it, they talk about how much they fell in love with boxing when they went in to try it out at a gym with their old coach. And I don't know, like he has a reason to be falling in love with those hands because he's a definite artist when it comes to boxing. But um, as far as if it goes to like staying in a pocket, I'd agree that Josh Emmett would be dangerous against anyone to stay in the pocket. But then again, like looking at Josh Emmett, I'm not a huge stats guy, even though stats and numbers talk a lot. But when is the last time that he actually did get a finish? Josh Emmett standing up, and I mean, as for his last opponent, it was Yaya Rodriguez. He was a definite tough opponent for Josh Emmett, because of his reach, and Rodriguez came smacking it hard from range, and he withstood a lot of damage there before falling to Rodriguez. But I'm expecting Ilia to mix it up. I mean, if they stand and if he gets him, he's gonna finish him, whether it's standing or if he drops to the floor, it could be a TKO. But I think strategy wise, the best move would be not to risk, not to risk it, and find openings with combinations, and do go for the leg, and do transition the fight from standing to the ground, because I think that Ilia has an advantage on the ground as well, and he can get him down to the ground as well with his wrestling. Romy, what do you think?
I think I would like to see him use the finish up the combinations with the leg kicks in this one, because Josh Emmett has had problems with leg kicks before. He has done some. He's had like surgical operations on his knees, and I've also liked this. I haven't seen Ilia throwing too many leg kicks as well, and I would like to see him do that in this fight. I think that would be, take out the basement kind of thing. Let the roof come crawling, crashing down on everything else. That
Do you
would be
guys remember that leg kick he threw against Mitchell? I think that's one of
yeah,
the only leg kicks I've seen Ilia throw,
yeah,
and it was in his last fight, which is good
yes,
because that means
yes.
it's in his game plan. Yeah, that was
I would like
hard.
I would like to see that. Other than that, I think he should keep it standing. I don't think he should initiate the takedown unless he gets cracked or hurt, God forbid, right? But as long as he stays elusive, as long as he moves well, uses head movement, doesn't stay in the pocket too long, goes in and out, side to side, goes side, and down and under, rolls out of the punches, cuts angles, this and that, the usual stuff that he does, and stays. What's fighting about? Fighting is about who can stay composed, who can stay focused, and also fighting is about who gives less fuck sometimes. But in this case, when the fight starts, you got to be composed, dialed in, and if he keeps that focus throughout the fight, I think he shouldn't have too many problems with it. But if he gets carried away, that's when we have some danger and on our hands, and I hope it doesn't come to that. But I think I think he knows what he needs to do on this one, and I think we'll see him very, very focused on this one. But yeah, I don't want to see him initiate the takedown on this one, because it's not about the ground game. Before the ground game comes wrestling, and when it comes to wrestling, Josh Emmett is no slouch either. He's very strong physically. He's got wrestling background. He's got very good guillotine, because he's from alpha male. Everybody's got a good guillotine in there. And although you don't see a lot of guillotines in MMA anymore, guys don't go to guillotines anymore that often, unless they're like really, really good at it. But I just don't see the necessity of initiating the takedown unless you gets hurt or popped, which can happen. You can get clipped. But other than that, I don't see the real reason to go to the ground on this one. Although Emmett hits really, really hard, but still, it doesn't matter how hard you throw if you don't connect. And if Ilia moves the right way, Josh should have a hard time connecting. So we'll see.
The one thing I like about Ilia is I believe that he's a featherweight that can actually move back and forth between two divisions. I can easily see him not only competing in the featherweight division, but he has the frame to move up to 155 if he wanted to.
Yeah, but I would rather see him focus on the featherweight and do something special in featherweight. That would be I think that would be the best, at least for the time being. So he's got a lot of miles left in featherweight. He's got a lot of people to fight in featherweight, and I would like to see him stay there.
I mean, Michi did move up, right? He fought Jai Herbert at featherweight,
Yeah.
and I mean,
At
we
lightweight.
know he can. Sorry, yeah, lightweight. I mean, we know he can do it, but to be honest, when I saw the size difference there, I was like, nah, man, this isn't good. But then again, Jai is very long, right? He's really tall, but yeah, quite possibly down the line, he could be going up there more often.
Topuria is very young, and
Yeah.
as I've seen his career, he knows how to avoid damage. He is a very high IQ level fighter when it comes to the octagon. He is, like you said, his composure is unreal. He's very, very much championship material when it comes to the UFC.
Now, even if we look at the fights that he had before the UFC, outside the UFC, when he would get hurt, he would get cracked in the fight. He knows how to recover. He knows how to stay composed. He knows what to do in those cases. I've seen him get hurt in fights outside the UFC, and I've seen him do the right things that he needs to do to get the job done. So, yeah, for sure. Yeah, he knows how to get out of trouble, even though he gets himself into trouble sometimes. He knows how to get out of it. So, yeah, that's good.
Other than Topuria, there's been a lot of buzz on the MMA in the Georgian community. A lot of fighters have been entering the UFC, and they're not just there to hover. They're there to make a big name for themselves. And they are climbing up the ranks fight by fight. And not one of them from the Georgian community has ever said no to a fight, ran from a fight. These guys are looking to fight the best, short notice, main events. They want the best and the baddest that the promotion can offer. Tell me, is that a mentality that they have over there? or is that just the ambition that they're training with?
It's the mentality, which is it's the mentality of the whole region. I mean, personally, me, I like it when I see our guys being so ballsy. But on the other hand, it's good and it's bad too. Like at some point, we're gonna have to look at this as a business, right? And sometimes you have to say no to a certain fight. Sometimes you have to, uh, you know, to turn this down to wait for something better or for some kind of strategic reasons. But yeah, it's a mentality thing. I mean, it's not just Georgians. It's most people from our region. They're like that. They can't sleep at night if they turn down the fight, which shouldn't be that big of an issue, but it is. You can't help it. So
And it's definitely
yeah,
the hunger. The hunger is there. I mean, UFC's been going for a while, and our guys haven't been at the front, and now we're getting in there. We're in there, and the hunger is definitely showing. And as Romy said, it is a business, so you gotta choose the fights carefully. And I think that Marab just proved that really well. When they tried to offer him a fight right immediately after defeating Peter Yan, like less than a month out, try to offer him a fight against somebody who wasn't ranked anywhere near him. And we all know what a road Marab had to get up to
yeah,
where he's at, and how tough it's been for him to find fights, and sometimes it's been like an entire year and he'd only have a single fight. So yeah, I think the mentality is there, but also the smarts are getting there as you are,
yeah,
learning in the game. Yeah.
What I love, speaking that we're speaking of Marab, that he holds that number one contender spot right now in the bantamweight division. Of course, his sparring partner and current champion, Aljamain Sterling, is going to be fighting Sean O'Malley on August 19th. And God willingly, he has a victory in Boston. He's saying that he's going to move to the featherweight division, and that will be his last fight as a bantamweight. Who do you guys see as the UFC doing a title fight with Marab? Because there's no doubt that he deserves a title shot, but obviously he doesn't want to fight his friend Aljamain. So after Aljamain, say, wins August 19, what's the fight to make for Marab for the title?
Quite possibly the winner of Sandhagen
yeah.
and Nurmagomedov. Then again, Sean O'Malley and Cejudo could also be in the picture as well, but definitely Marab against one of these fellows over here. The only question is what's gonna happen. How long is Marab gonna wait? Is he gonna wait until? Does it look like he's gonna wait until the fight? You know, he's not gonna take any other fights. I mean, the question is here. He's just waiting for Aljo now to finish his business, move up, and he's waiting for the belt. I hope that's how it is, and I hope it works out. But sometimes, UFC. I mean, it's difficult to get exactly what you want, man. It's a rough business out there. If it happens like that, I'm seeing the winner of Corey Sandhagen, Nurmagomedov, or Cejudo and Sean O'Malley, even with a loss against Aljo, could still be in the picture, being that cash cow that he is. Yeah, that's what I got to say about that.
Honestly, with the treatment that Merab has had from the UFC, which is not bad, but it's not excellent either. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him another fight for another title eliminator before they give him a title shot. I wouldn't surprise about that at all because I know how UFC works. I've been watching the UFC brass doing their thing for I don't know how many years, and I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, of course he deserves the title shot. And if Aldo moves up, whether he wins or loses, hopefully he wins and then moves up. I would like to see him fight fight the winner of Sandhagen and Nurmagomedov for the title, because I want Sandhagen to win against Nurmagomedov because and fight for the title, not because I like him more than the other guy. I don't know either guys, but I just think Sandhagen and Merab are both deserving of a title shot. Those guys have been putting in the work. I mean, look at Sandhagen. He picks the hardest fight after every victory. He calls out the hardest opponent after every victory, and that calls. I mean, that kind of calls out a lot of respect from me to him, and I want to see him fight for the gold. So it will, if best case scenario, the ideal for me will be Merab versus Corey for the gold. Hopefully that happens.
I have to counteract that is a guy like Nurmagomedov, which hasn't had the chance to fight the level of opposition that Sandhagen has. But I feel that Nurmagomedov is being treated kind of like Islam was, that it's like nobody wants to fight him. It's too much risk, not enough reward, because he wasn't ranked, because nobody wants to fight behind them.
And again, that's credit to Sandhagen, because he's taking this fight. He doesn't have to take this fucking fight. He's like what, top 3, and this kid is 13, ranked 13, right? Something like that, 12. He didn't have to take this fight, but he did. And I have a lot of respect. Listen, what's his
Umar.
Umar will get a title shot. It's eventually he's gonna get it. That's inevitable. It's just a matter of time. He will get a title shot. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but he will get it. You know that. We all know that.
Listen, if he beats Sandhagen, he will definitely be next in line.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I'm just saying the amount of work that Merab and Corey and the couple of other guys have put in, I would like to see them get their opportunity first, because they've already done the work. Once Umar gets all the work in, of course he's gonna get a title shot. Of course,
listen, it's tough to imagine Merab not being next. With the Sean O'Malley and Aljo fight coming up next. I mean, who else is gonna go next, man? Who are they gonna skip my man? That will be harsh, man. It's tough to imagine Merab not being next. And listen, I don't want to say it's a good thing, but this injury and the surgery Merab did, I reckon it might have, done some good in a sense, where like he cannot fight. All right,
now he has a reason to wait.
No, and Merab would fight. Like, you see him, he's still in the gym with his one hand wrapped up, and he's always going. I mean, he would definitely fight, but now he's just got to sit out, wait what happens with Aljo and O'Malley, while still being hungry and being the most popular guy after that Michael Jackson incident.
The thing is, if what's his name? If O'Malley wins against Aljo, right, which is right now from where I'm standing is highly unlikely, but if he does, which he could, because he's very slick, standing up, and you never know. But if he does, I just feel like the UFC will do everything to not match him with Merab.
Yeah, I see that, because also I see Sean O'Malley speaking on the mic, and Merab is not gonna be coming out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? If he wins that fight, he won't be speaking Merab. He'll be speaking Cejudo maybe.
Yeah.
But he won't be speaking Merab, that's for sure.
But Merab has been making a lot of splash, has been making a lot of noise, which is good, marketing wise. He's been getting more popular. He's been getting more eyeballs on him. So we'll see. I mean, maybe the UFC will say, "Fuck it, let's give this guy a shot." After all, and maybe it will happen.
So, Mitch, did you hear the latest news in Georgian MMA? We got a brother coming back, 1st of July. The guy we've been waiting for a while now, since his fight against help me out here, Romy. Ismagulov, Damir Ismagulov, lightweight. Guram Kutateladze. He'll be filling in against Elvis Brenner, July 1st. So we got something to look forward to there. I mean, this guy is sharp.
That's one Georgian that I've been saying for a while that he's probably the most well-rounded fighter we had in the UFC.
Yeah, on the last show, you asked us like who your favorite fighter was, and Romy started talking about Guram immediately, man. And it's not hard to see.
Yeah, he hasn't really gotten any attention yet because the guy has been on a unbelievable, like, no luck streak. The guy he can't catch a break. This the injuries, the visa problems,
the fights get rescheduled. A lot of cancellation bouts has been hurting.
Everything, yeah. So just 2 fights since he entered the UFC in 2020. 2 fights in the UFC in 3 years. It's just a shame with the guy like Guram, with his skills that he has, his IQ, his experience. This guy has been fighting since he was like, I don't know, like a little kid. He was like a toddler when he started fighting. And
yeah, there's footage of him. He was like one of those MMA kids. Like when they put you in a cage as a kid, you see those sometimes in social media today, like kids doing MMA. He was that guy. He was that guy. Like,
remember the video MMA was viral. Everybody was criticizing Fedor and Russian MMA Federation and Kadyrov, and the guy, one kid snipped another kid's arm. There was a viral video. It was a big scandal. Guram was the kid who got his arm snapped years ago. Yeah. So, but yeah, this guy. I mean, when I see this guy, I see quality, man. I see so much quality, and also even more bad luck so far. But I hope he breaks it. And goes over the hill with it and starts getting some recognition that he deserves, because I like him. I think I still remain on the same opinion of him, that he is still right now he's the best Georgian MMA fighter in the UFC. As far as potential, Ilia is the most. He's got the biggest potential for sure. But at the moment, if I had to pick skill for skill, right now, one guy from the UFC that's Georgian to go, I would go with Guram, yeah, still.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. The Georgian Viking Guram Kutateladze, July 1st versus Elvis Brenner.
Except I don't like saying that. I don't know why he says that. I don't like saying that. Georgian Viking, what is that? What the hell is that? Georgian Viking? I've never heard of Georgian Viking.
Yo, Romy, I know you're outside, but can you shut the front door, my man?
It's just
Yo, shut the front door.
Oh, there he is.
He's gotta get started. So we got who's there? Is Lewan there?
No, Levan is scared of me. He won't get out of the house.
Yo, what up? Zico. Yo, look at him. Look at him. Damn, Zico.
Nice.
That's the LFA champion right there. The LFA champion, ladies and gentlemen, and his little tiger.
Bengal cat. Looks like a Bengal.
Yeah, that thing is cute, man. Obviously, we've been waiting for Zvia to make a return as well. I mean, talking about being unlucky. When he fought for the LFA title, he hadn't even sparred and couldn't even do wrestling at that time when he fought for the LFA title and when he won the LFA belt. And even till this day, he cannot train properly right now because he's been having back issues. And he got I mean, talking about luck, man. I mean,
he was supposed to be our original undefeated Georgian in UFC. For a long time, he was 13-0, and he got stuck in that position because of the injuries
and he took a short notice fight. He took a short notice fight. Mitchell, if you haven't seen Zviad's fight in UFC, it's that guy. What's that guy's name, dude? The guy recently who's been killing it, man.
Yeah. Martinez, Jonathan Martinez.
Jonathan Martinez, bro. Do you remember his last fight, Jonathan Martinez? His last fight, man.
These are, what weight does he fight at?
Bantamweight.
Bantamweight.
Nice.
Yeah, Martinez is fighting out of Denver. Very good fighter.
Yeah, very good.
He took him short notice. He took him short notice just to get his foot in the door. You know when those ones happen when you're like, okay, you gotta take it.
This fucking guy had to cut 20 pounds in 2 days.
Crazy.
With the bad ankle, bad. I mean, you know, that's. I mean, listen, everybody goes into a fight compromised. You can't be healthy going into a fight. Then you got to stop training. Then when you train, you get hurt. When you fight injured. That's always the case. Always the case. But with this guy, it's been a little bit more than that. It's been problem after problem after problem. Hopefully, this last injury that he's dealing with right now, he's almost done with, and hopefully we can get something going afterwards, because he doesn't have a lot of miles on him. He has a lot of experience. He's a smart fighter, and we'll see. Maybe the
2024, man. I'm hoping he comes back. Like, I'm praying and hoping, because that is one talent we don't want to lose, Ziyad Lazishvili. Though he's been doing a great job, the best job at coaching Lewan Chokheli. I'm pretty sure you caught his last fight, Lewan's last fight at Bellator. And more news, Lewan's going to Ireland.
Yes.
And he's going to be fighting Sabah Homasi, baby. That one is going to be a crazy banger.
Yeah.
It's a lot of exciting fights, and hopefully we'll be able to see some of these guys coming up, whether it's Dana White's Contender Series or just coming in and entering the UFC, you know, through some general contracts. So I am very, very excited for the MMA scene going forward. The UFC is putting on pretty much 4 months of every weekend. They're giving us fights. No breaks.
They do that every summer, basically, yeah. This is going to be a hot summer.
It's going to be a hot summer, a lot of fights, a lot of good times with friends and family. A lot of bets are going to be won and lost, obviously, in between.
A lot of collaborations coming your way, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't watch
Notorious
fights with
pools.
I don't watch fights with friends and family. I got to be alone in my own zone, completely quiet and isolated from everything.
You have to be able to punch the air, you know, around you.
No, it's like I don't even blink. I'm like this for like 5 hours. I'm like this. I don't even. There's no. I gotta have everything: water, food, and in case I need to, you know, go get it. I don't need to go get it. So yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. It's a pleasure to always collaborate with you guys. I want to give one more shout out to Fight Hop Podcast for being here with us, as always having you guys on the show. And we will be tuned in to watch Topuria versus Emmett. We will be giving tons of support for the Georgian fighters in the MMA scene. Guys, remember, if you are new to the show, please leave a like, follow, and subscribe on Notorious Pulls Radio, on Fight Hop Podcast, on YouTube, on Instagram. Guys, also, we have some of the best merchandise. Best way to support us, click on our link below. Check out our t-shirt, check out our hats. It's the best way to give us some good support. Any final words from you guys before we go?
Just make this quick. God bless. Looking forward to the coming up years working together. Fight Hub Podcast, Notorious Pulse Radio. Respect.
Definitely. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much, man. I'll be back. I'll be back home soon tonight.
All right. Safe travels.
What's the weather like? What should I wear?
You're good.
A bikini. A Brian, a bikini.
I'm already wearing that, asshole.